do have both teams readying up for this first map of the best of 3 low bracket final, as we do have Nexus going in really quickly, getting a lot of damage off early onto the combo of IDS. He will meet up with his medic as Mist gets a very early pick onto Ella on the sniper, so that's going to open up the space for his team. Centaur's going to go in for the stab, will whiff, but will end up getting the kill onto Shaky with the Ambassador, and will also clean up the Heavy as well. He will lose his life to Smay, but we are going to see Hunting Season take this first mid pretty convincingly here with about a 75% Uber advantage off of it.
Yeah, and so much of that just came down to how well Nexus played that first mid fight. He nailed his rollout and just gained so much zoning potential for his team that IDS really never had a chance to get into the fight at all. And given the pick classes got early on in that exchange, yeah, things really just went in favor as we actually see the Uber coming out on the side of Hunting Season, and they are trying their best and they will take down quite a few players, but they have lost, you know, some significant members their side. But again, they've got their key combat classes, they've retained their medic, so they are holding this midpoint pretty comfortably, as we have seen a bomb come in, but it's pretty ineffectual as Super will try to make a bit more space for his team and force some players out.
Yeah, definitely. That Uber, a bit questionable. I can see what they were going for with the solo Uber on CK, and I'm really liking that he's getting involved in these Ubers, as we do see Mist going down to the detonator shot. But this is going to be the Uber advantage push coming in from IDS, and as long as they can keep these players alive for another 5 seconds or so before they get the Uber, then that should be good. But they're dropping players left and right here. Sniper and Spy both going down with a bomb coming in, doing a lot of damage onto the Heavy, who's been left alone on the pipe here. But the Uber will come out, as IDS do lose a few more players, that Heavy eventually going down. But with Hunting Season coming up on their Uber right now, they're going to look to contest this point right away, with CK leading the Uber right across. Bitler will jump out, looks like Shaky will be able to get out as well, but it's not, you know, they don't care about the medic here, they've just used, although with Remorse going down to the sniper, that's a really clean shot coming out from Ella here. It's going to try and put them in that spot.
Really patiently waiting their time and just picking up that shot perfectly. But as we say that, a bunch of frags have already gone back the way of Hunting Season, and it looks like IDS are a bit on the back foot, but they have been able to keep their medic alive for the most part. The health is looking shaky, but there's no one who's really in a position to do too much damage here. So Shaky should look like they survive pretty easily, but we are already seeing this capture coming out from Bird and Exquisite, and yep, they've retaken the point, and a couple of frags again have continued going the way of Hunting Season. And things are in a bit of flux right now. Both teams are kind of in positions where I think they're kind of just waiting for a couple of picks to go their way, and as we say that, they're just continue to be exchanged, and a pick doesn't manage to go the way onto Remorse, so this might be a pretty good chance for a Hunting Season to bolster their time advantage here.
Yeah, definitely. Remorse coming up on the 75% Uber right now, but Hunting Season haven't committed to a push yet. Actually, Shaky gets forced by CK just running in, so they'll be quite happy with that to trade the scout right now. Remorse on 95% will use if he needs to, if he can get it in time. Just get it off on about 30 health. Bitler will die. The cap will go the way of IDS to start off with Hunting Season. They're not super healthy. Exquisite will need to get some heals, but he'll slowly walk onto the point now, with Nexus and Mist behind them. CK joining the party as well. The cap is up, as they will take back the point immediately, barely letting IDS get over a minute on the clock as Susu does go down. Mist really on a roll here. I feel like he's been getting picks when his team needs it, right as they're getting the point. As we have some dueling on the flank, CK and Chupa will clean up the soldier, but Nexus again will go down to the demo. I feel like I've been seeing him die a lot here.
Yeah, and CK is doing some great cleanup work here, just picking off those lower HP targets, which is exactly what you want a scout to do, especially on Coffin. It's just allowed Hunting Season some really nice supremacy onto this point. They've only got just shy of 15 seconds left to hold on, and around upon a defense squad really aren't in a great position to push. They are coming in now, and the Uber does come out, but it's just a medic and a scout. The rest of the team will start to follow up, and they will force Hunting Season back and likely get this cap, but no, the counter Uber does come in. Remorse saving his players expertly. Bird getting a fantastic detonator kill onto Smay. Mist going absolutely ham on Sniper, and that pretty much seals the fate. It's going to take an absolute miracle here, and miracles really don't happen as Hunting Season take a very clean first round here with 1:55 still left on the clock for IDS.
Yeah, definitely showing their prowess when it does come to the Koth map. They really like this one last week against Pandas. We're going to see Nexus do the same thing on minigame. They're considerably faster than everyone else, taking the crit buff off of the Heavy and asserting himself on this point, but you do have Bitler and a lot of his team going through the pool room right away, getting onto Mist, and actually Susu is going to clean up Shuper as well, as we've got Centaur trying to go in for the pick. And CK, did he just take a 1v1 against the Heavy there while the Heavy was getting healed? He's managed to get onto the Sniper as well before he burns out.
It was a very very dynamic play there, as actually we see Exquisite being very aggressive on the Heavy, and he is actually able to take down Shaky. I don't know how you're able to let that happen, because things, yeah, that flank and push through the side there by IDS, it actually looked really promising, and then the rest of the team, they just kind of stumbled around and looked like they didn't know what they were doing. And yeah, Overhealed Heavy is very good at cleaning up players, and Remorse is taking a very aggressive move here. They take down Bitler, who's a fantastic combat clutch. They get to soar onto Shaky, and there we go. CK will finish off that frag with a... I mean, Remorse is just putting in the work by themselves here.
Yeah, so much confidence, just seemingly in the middle of 3 players there on the battlements to un-Uber himself and go for the sword to extend while CK is fighting someone else. That's just, I mean, really, just showing IDS that they're not here to play around, right? They're going to do whatever it takes for them to win this map. And I mean, yeah, we're seeing Hunting Season coming up on that minute advantage here, as Bird's going to get a little bit aggressive, pressuring Bitler out of main and having a Nexus back her up now, as Bitler will try and get on to the battlement section outside of pool, but he'll end up having to come back through main and meet up with his players. You've got the Soldier Meth coming in for the bomb, but he won't get anything, the Heavy shutting him down completely. As Nexus, he's going to get more damage across the point, really walking forward here, trying to clean up Bitler combined with Bird. He will manage that. But Nexus, overextending, does find the sightline of Ella, who is going to be trying to find something with Mist here. They're fighting each other, but Ella's just staying a little bit out of the sightline. Mist trying for something, but
oh my god, just... a fantastic bomb. Sorry to cut you off, but just a fantastic bomb by Meth there to take out Remorse in a position where really it shouldn't have happened. You know, Hunting Season, they did lose a couple of players to Ella, but they were just had a very, you know, just tight hold behind the point there. So a fantastic bomb there to really turn the tide of this fight. And we are seeing the counter direction coming out from Hunting Squad, but they're just not able to find these frags. But in saying that, Iran finds it defense squad, they're all on the low ground. No one's actually able to contest this cap point. So as well as that bomb and sack play was, it really was kind of all for naught at the end, as they immediately re-give up the point to a single push. The Uber does come out, but on a Heavy pushing all the way through the side there, you're not going to actually have that much mobility. They are getting a couple of frags going their way, and they've taken a lot of ground here, but Remorse is looking very healthy and on 50% Uber.
Yeah, and Remorse is actually going to back all the way out here. Shuper will stay and try and get some damage, and Essence will... Not Essence, that's another Heavy. Exquisite will come through the teleporter and meet up with Shuper there as CK's come along as well. They'll find the Spy and clean up that kill, but Exquisite will die before the rest of his team can join. And speaking of the rest of his team, they're looking to go through pool room. They're doing the same push that they tried against Pandas, failed, but they're working it this time. Nexus will get out unscathed, and with Remorse... That's a lot of damage.
A fantastic fight there from Bitler, which really stunts the momentum of that push there. But in saying that, we have a really aggressive spy play coming onto Shaky, not able to clean that out as the crossbow does come out. CK's trying to clean up any damage, but actually doesn't land a single shot onto the medic. So IDS are in a really solid position to try to re-push into Hunting Season if they want, and the Uber does come out, but as we see that, Exquisite's doing a fantastic job in just delaying. Eventually he'll lose his life, but Remorse does have that time to get the counter pop. We see Bitler desperately trying to jump out, flukes the first jump and gets completely demolished by the Spy in midair here, and it's putting IDS in a very precarious position, as Hunting Season again only have 20 seconds left to defend here.
Yeah, and actually in all of that, the combo of Hunting Season got a little bit scattered behind Remorse meeting Smay and just Mouse 2. It's not strong, Valve, I swear. You need to keep buffing it, guys, because it just blasts a medic halfway across the map with 3 clicks. IDS will reclaim the point, actually landing themselves a pretty nice Uber advantage, 40% here, so Hunting Season with that, they're going to try and pressure the point out here before they get the Uber. They know that this is the time that they're going to have the best chance to clean this round up. And it looks like that it's just going to happen because they don't have the Uber to fight this. 13 seconds left on the clock. IDS will actually not get Uber before this. Shaky's running around trying to find someone. Actually left the fight completely. So this looks like it's going to be another round for Hunting Season as you've got Meth trying to stand on the point. Bird not finding him. She will get him. And with no one around on IDS rather, Hunting Season are going to take that round. That felt like it should have been at least more of a fight from IDS there.
And do you want to know why it really wasn't? All because of a mini sentry that just precariously placed on, you know, the corner of the stairs. No one from IDS decided to shoot that 100 HP gun, and it just completely destroyed Bitler as he was pushing onto the point, and it kind of stunted all momentum. And yeah, focus sentries, people. It's very important as we come on to this third mid-fight as Hunting Season are in a fantastic position here, and they're really following it up here. They've only lost their sniper as they just continue to take frag after frag. They will lose a CK there, but it's really all for naught as everyone on IDS eventually dies, and Hunting Season again just playing these mid fights so exquisitely. You know, they're getting there quicker and they're spreading their damage in a far better way than IDS really can.
Yeah, and also doing an exquisite job is Exquisite himself. He's pushed all the way into spawn, dragging Susu back with him. He'll actually clean up that kill as Meth is going to look for something as well. But with Centaur there, I think Exquisite, he'll get the teleporter just before dying, as we do have an aggressive Uber coming out from Hunting Season on the battlements, but they won't actually manage to get a lot outside of damage. As Uber does fade, they manage to clean up a kill onto Bitler and Smay as well. But with Time coming through on the heavy weapons guy, 450 health, you can't take that down with some cleanup damage. So Nexus will stay in, try to clean him up. The burn will reduce the amount of heals he's getting, but it won't end up in the cloud.
Sorry to cut you off there. Remorse is getting very cheeky with their crossbows. I mean, yeah, they are not afraid to be incredibly aggressive here as a medic, and as a medic main, I do love to see it. As we actually see the Uber from IDS coming out into pool room, but again, speaking of Remorse, immediately backs out, taking pretty much no damage. And as we say that, the pick classes of Hunting Season go to absolute town, and Shupa's on a 9k right now, completely, basically demolishing IDS single-handedly as yeah, things are looking very comfortable for Hunting Season right now. It's really hard to see how IDS honestly are even going to get a cap here, let alone a round.
Yeah, I don't know, they're getting aggressive again on the side of Hunting Season with the Uber. They won't find Shaky, he is safe in spawn, but they will clean up 4 players with that Uber. And I think they'll be pretty happy with that, getting Remorse out alive. And actually getting CK in, he is looking to get on top of Shaky, but will not get anything apart from damage at the end. Shupa gets on the 10 kill streak, cleaning up Bitler. And with that death, that's going to keep them out of action. I think that's what Hunting Season's been doing really well. They've been using their Ubers aggressively, not necessarily taking fights just to, you know, play the counter Uber game. But in the situations where IDS can push, like now, they're down key classes. Their Demo Man is not here at all. They don't have a heavy or a soldier or even a sniper to cover them. Smay will get pushed forward by the Wrangled Sentry Gun and get nothing done at all as the Uber will fade on Shaky and Susu. While they're on the other side of the point, Shaky will die immediately along with Susu. Bitler getting cleaned up as well by Sheep, who's got himself in a good position. As it's going to look like, yeah, Hunting Season, they're going to cement themselves on this point yet again. CK, he wants Ella, he's been on top of it, but Ella will actually get a nice no-scope on him, clean that kill up, but yeah, Uber from Remorse, this looks like it's going to be the round.
Yeah, and again, like you alluded to, is 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second's countdown. Hunting Season taking a very clean. Oh, we'll have a tiny bit of a fight back from IDS, but it's not even close to enough as Yeah, I mean, to go to your point, I mean, hunting season, it's not just Uber fights they're better at, it's not even post-Uber fights they're better at, it's every single transition that we're seeing between fights. I mean, they're just so expertly picking up players one by one, staggering spawn times, disrupting combos, disrupting flanks, that IDS at no point in that map ever really seemed that confident, even when they took rounds, even when they had, it seemed like in a position where they didn't have a time advantage, but it seemed like they were going to kind of get back into the swing of things. So readied up, and we're going to see how hunting season take this first defensive setup here.
Yeah, I think they will, as most teams on up would do, especially when they're in a situation like this where, they're probably feeling themselves a little bit here, knowing that, they are the better team, especially from the performance they've just put on. They might try for an all-out hold of this first point here. You've got a lot of aggressive traps coming out from Nexus, trying to hide them behind the planks, and Grass do what he can. So yeah, they're gonna be looking for something here, right? Whether it's an early pick onto the medic or just a complete fail of an Uber push from IDS. Just something to swing it in their favor to lock them out, because first point, really outside of last on this map, or maybe third as well, depending on how comfortable you are on the point. Is this the best chance you have to lock a team out completely? Only 5 minutes on the timer, and it can be a really hard point to push if you're put in a tough spot, as gates are opening. Mist is on the hill looking for Ella. He'll whip the first shot and rotate around through the little alleyway, and will find the pick. And clean up another one on the Smay as well.
I mean, that is not how you want things to start on the side of IDS, as they keep losing frag after frag. Cookie just goes down as well. I mean, they clean up one, but I mean, how much consolation is it, as they already lose so much firepower from the side? I mean, they get the card to a very good place already, using that classic Fist of Steel strat on the card to just tank the damage. But I mean, hunting season barely taking damage here, as they have this very clear hold around the point here. We are seeing the cart, really move quite a bit, but just as they round this corner here, they're going to meet so much resistance, and that's already what we're seeing, as we actually see the Conqueror, I believe, that is coming out from Shupa and just providing so much support for his team, and just IDS, really, I mean, they're just kind of pushing in wave after wave here.
Yeah, and I really like the way that Mist and Centaur have been playing here for hunting season, right? They've been putting themselves in a position to pretty much lock Shaky in spawn the entire time. He's only just come out of spawn now, and they've used the Uber but they used it so early. Half of their Uber is gone before they even reach hunting season, and they will get no cap time on the cart from that. But because of the other picks that their team managed to get, they will have to go through and give up the point. But yeah, that's a pretty solid time.
That's a far cleaner point take than I would have really expected. Things really did not look well, especially with Mist getting those 2 frags basically as soon as the gates opened. But yeah, a really confident first point take there from IDS, and they have got a pretty aggressive point here as they push forward. Bitler taking a lot of damage, and it will be Mist cleaning him up. And yeah, there we go, another frag from center on Schubert, really kind of decimating the push here. Oh my god, just frag after frag after frag. Just as I finished saying that, I mean, Cookies is trying to do what they can to really clean things up, but will eventually get cleaned up by Exquisite there. And I mean, just as things started to look positive for IDS, hunting season kind of clicked into gear and realized, okay, maybe we gave up that first point a bit too easily.
But the big thing is that the card is all the way behind. They've got the sentry gun in a good position, along with Bird to watch it at this point, so it won't get any further, but I don't know. Shy here has set themselves up in a pretty good position before they brought players back to deal with them and just clear that out of the tunnel's position. And you've got the scout, and no one's going to be able to touch this gun, touch the cart because of the gun until it rolls back. We do have some brawling coming out and an Uber coming out from Remorse, but don't get a lot.
I'm sorry, I just need to keep pointing out Mist here, as it's just frag after frag, like, just some of the cleanest scopes I've seen in a good while. Just, I mean, it's not even locking down angles particularly, it's just getting frag after frag as they really want, and that's allowing all these other players for Hunting Season to just push forward. I mean, you see the work CK's been able to do, and the fact that right now IDS are kind of clamoring to push up into this upper area, but they just have so much they need to watch out for, and it's, as I say that, Mist gets another headshot onto Ella.
Yeah, he's got 8 to his name right now, ringing out more headshots as he will back up. But Centaur, he's going to whiff the stab on the Bitler here as Bird had his attention drawn completely. He'll die on the card as Shy looks to push it up a bit, but Mist and Exquisite, they're going to look at keeping them off of it, but using the cart very well for cover as Remorse actually drops to Cookies, getting in, Bird being distracted just a little bit and dying afterwards. As the Uber will come out, and this will open up the push for IDS here, as they'll be able to get that cap very cleanly. CK trying to clean up the medic. He'll get Bitler, and Nexus will combine with him for a kill on the Shy as well, but Shaky will be in a good position just to be all the way out. As we're going to see a third push come in now, see how they can do it.
Yeah, and again, that I feel like that incredibly mimics kind of IDS, how they took that first point. Again, really looking terrible early on, and then just somehow getting a fantastic cohesive push coming through his map. Will use that direct hit to take out the heavy as the rest of IDS keep pushing forward, and they're in a fantastic position. Mist for once isn't hitting heads, and it's really kind of working in favor as Cookies will clean up behind them. They will take out Bela, but no, Cookie's taken out before he's able to get that stab. So things slowing down a bit for IDS. I mean, they do have that 3 times on cap already, but again, 2 frags going the way of Nexus here. It'll probably see a halt of a main push here. We are getting still pressure on the card here, but probably not what you'd expect. Is again, Mist actually missing quite a few shots here. It's quite unexpected. As,
yeah,
oh my god, Super getting the...
He'll combine with Super for that last one, but you've got the Ubers trading out on the hill here. And Mist, he's just still picking off players that aren't, in that Uber. Shaky going down post-fight to CK. And Mist just continuing to clean things up. Centaur will try and get his counterpart, Mist's counterpart on Ella, but he will fail. But that has given Mist all the information he needs to find him, as he'll back up as he sees the scout coming. But I think this is going to be where Hunting Season really managed to lock things in, right? You've got a really strong sniper right now in Mist who can lock down those long sight lines. And you've got a team that's just positioning really well and taking the right fights in a point where it's really difficult to get this cart going, right? Like, you've got Nexus who can just put a bunch of stickies down, Seiko who can walk forward and clean up these kills as he's doing so now, but actually Susu getting the better of him as Centaur will try for something with the Ambassador headshot. Oh.
That's something you don't see that often, as a spy out DMing a scout, but really lovely flick headshot there. We are seeing a center will take out Shaky as well, which is, I mean, a massive pick. To say the absolute least, as we have Nexus putting on the aggression on the cart, taking out Billa. We'll have see a couple of frags go their way, but again, Nexus on the backline still picking off head after head, and Susu will try to cap out this cart there, and actually they're in a very good position as Hunting Season are really too far back to be able to do anything, and with the help of their engineer, they're able to get the cap, and a very late Uber comes out from Remorse, and I really don't like that pop there.
Yeah, I feel like that pop is just a total waste, right? You either need to use it to stop the cap from coming in about 20 seconds earlier, or you need to just hold it for the full Uber advantage on last, and now it's essentially even 10% disadvantage. And oh, okay, this is what I like to see. We have an uppers hold coming in from Hunting Season. And this is going to force IDS into a really interesting position without the Uber. They have to force themselves through a very narrow stairwell, and it's going to land a lot of kills for Hunting Season. I mean,
Bird just again. They'll eventually get taken out there by Susu, but Bird single-handedly stunted that push completely for Hunting Season. I mean, again, that's just kind of what you expect from Mouse 2. Susu getting very aggressive there, but Remorse, again, not afraid to take things into their own hands, gets that Ubersaw kill, and completely, Ubers don't matter when you've got a medic that's that aggressive. We see Bitler coming up from that upper area with the sticky bombs, but again, it's Bird being that first line of defense there, doing so much, as, yeah, Remorse will actually pop, but in saying that, they lose their scout and their heavy. They'll eventually take down Bitler and Smay, but things aren't actually looking that good for Hunting Season here, as they've lost a couple of really key important defensive classes.
Yeah, and IDS, they managed to keep the pressure up really well on the card here, pushing it so far forward, even with the sentry gun up and the constant pressure on that high ground and on the card as well from hunting season. This is actually a lot better for them than it kind of makes out this. You know, they've got a lot of individual plays going on, but when it comes to that teamwork and that objective-based gaming, IDS, they're really on top of it here. You've got Cookies coming through up top looking for something, as Ella will get on top of Mist, taking him down, winning the sniper duel for one of the first times this series.
And
yeah.
Sorry, I have to just point out CK getting very aggressive to clean up the sniper kill, only to immediately upon entering a doorway be found with a direct hit. As Susu's getting very aggressive on point, Bitler trying to help them out, but again it's Nexus getting that frag and a very aggressive Uber coming out from hunting season. As they get this point almost entirely captured, they will actually take down the medic there, as we will see the heavy behind there on the flank, and the cap is so tantalizingly close. But again, it's always this last little ramp that, I mean, it's the eternal struggle for any team pushing upward last.
Yeah, they just need seemingly one player to set up. I think at this point it's probably going to be a spy. Cookies, he might look to get into a good position right next to the point. He's wreaking havoc on hunting season here, running around with the sapper constantly.
Oh my god,
Hella,
that was very dirty. I mean, that's again getting a headshot the moment you see a pixel of hitbox. I mean, I'm happy that I was on their cam for that moment, as we will see, you know, Mist, you know, doing their own part and getting a couple of fantastic shots off at the same time.
Yeah, we've got the aggressive level 3 sentry coming out from Shy going down, put it in the little entranceway there, but you've got actually Remorse and CK taking a very aggressive and open way into the top area. Cookies will look to get something here, and they've actually locked Remorse in. Cookies drop down for the gun, so they won't clean up the kill onto Remorse, but he will get very low. He's waiting for the pack right now, as Nexus actually takes the detonator shot for him. As Remorse, he's in a really icky situation here, not going to like that one as the medic. He has to actually back out onto the gun.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, and actually, you've just got a bunch of players from IDS here getting ready for that. And they're all going to forward to the pit.
Again, I mean, so much. Again, you can't just, you know, say against what Exquisite did there. Just hanging in that upper area at the moment things were looking good, just dropping out of that window and pushing down. It's given hunting season a good, maybe extra 10 seconds, but in the end, it's not enough, as Iran Defense Squad finally managed to get that final cap with a time of 11 minutes and 7 seconds, which on the lengthy side of things.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of teams are going to be looking to hit that kind of 7 to 9 minute mark, depending on how confident you are on your defense. I think IDS, they might be very confident on their defense. I don't think they're completely out of this game yet, but 11 minutes, considering the way hunting season are playing right now, it might be a little bit out of their reach. I think we might see maybe, I don't know, I mean, depending on how quickly they get the ball rolling, if they don't give any regard for Remorse's life, they might barrel out here. Doesn't matter if Ella's hitting anything, they just run that combo in and take the Uber and look for a quick 5-minute push. Or they might just take their time, secure the win with something around 8 minutes.
Yeah, of course, and like you said, first is really the main stranglehold you have to give your team such fantastic chance here. And if hunting season get off to any sort of immediate momentum, I really don't see how IDS will be able to claw it back just from what will essentially result to how well they're able to hold last. As the time does click off here. We see Nexus far too aggressive. I mean, I don't even know what they're doing, but somehow they get a pipe going to Susu, and it looks like they're able to survive, as the direct hit isn't... I'm sorry, like... Was that just me? Am I imagining things?
That's, that's the good old... That's what I like to call a lock bomb. From Lock, the Premier Sixes player, who played a little bit of Highlander demo in his day, and he just bombs in and tries to get the kill onto the medic, but not quite working in that regard for Nexus. But they'll get the card up really far forward here, further than IDS managed to. With the gun getting sapped as well, and the engineer down, this is going to open up for an incredibly fast time. Only a minute down, 50 seconds at that, and this gun is So this card is so close to getting capped. Ubers will be traded, but for IDS, this is a retreat Uber. Fall back into the hill.
That wasn't even a good defensive pop from the side of IDS. It was simply because Wiethoofd was essentially skyboxed, and it was a last-minute desperation as we see Mech getting completely launched into the pit there. And, oh, they lose time as well. And Susu from a fantastic headshot coming out from Mist. And, I mean, they really didn't see any resistance probably offered off from IDS, as there's still 9 minutes 30 left for them to defend, and they're not even in a good position right now. You know, they don't have that kind of ascendancy onto this upper area that we saw that Hunting Season were able to get. You know, Remorse is able to just kind of walk around freely. I say that, but I'm immediately proven wrong as LR hits a fantastic headshot, and maybe that's exactly what IDS needed to just settle things down even a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. But we've got a lot of almost uncontested cart pressure coming out here from CK and Sheep. They're really pushing it in here with, yeah, they've gotten it actually all the way out of the tunnel at this point. CK, he's just constantly pressuring it. Doesn't matter who's there, he'll get 1 and 2 onto time there. As he'll just go right back to the cart. Remorse give him a little bit of a buff as he's come back from the kill. Cookies almost found, actually, oh, so close there to the decloak onto Remorse, but it'll give his team enough info.
Yeah, Senta coming in, getting a really nice frag there, and follows up with another with the Ambassador body shot as more frags go Hunting Season's way. And again, if you're IDS, you're kind of in panic stations right now, because there's no sense of control at any point. Again, it's exactly what happened on Pro side. They'll have flashes of really good, but then immediately Hunting Season will be able to disrupt it either with their pick classes or just how well they play as a combo and denying counter picks. And we're seeing that right now. You know, Nexus is being so aggressive here onto the combo here. You know, eventually they're backed out, but not without putting out a ton of damage. And saying that, you know, Shiv will eventually fall, but it comes at the expense of Exquisite doing so much damage. The Uber comes out, Bitler gets suspended in the skybox and probably just be able to survive, as Smay coming in doing whatever they can, but it's not enough. This Nexus with the SMG will clean it up, and again, there's no control for IDS as missed with another headshot onto Shaky. And I mean, what do you do here? Like, how do you stop this juggernaut?
I think you do what Cookie's done, try and take out the players capping the cart. Mist has had to go back for it. And Cookies, no way. No, Mist. Oh, buddy. He uncloaked right behind me. Bird will finally find Cookies with the flamethrower and kill him before his rampage can end. But oh my lord. That was, look, that's a good way to buy some time. He definitely got a good 30 seconds for his team there. CK back up pushing the car with a Sheepy getting some forward teleporters for his team in the meantime. But yeah, I don't know, this is incredible. 6, nearly 7 minutes for Hunting Season to finish this out.
As good as time is, you know what's even better? A 60% over advantage on the side of Remorse. Like, it's, you know, Cookies did all they could there, and you can't fault them for their effort, as we will actually see a few more picks kind of going onto Hunting Season, which disrupts them a bit. But, you know, they'll have to actually, I'd say that, you know, more and more picks will actually go the way of IDS, so it has disrupted things fairly well. But actually enough for Shaky to almost come up with their Uber. It's only a 25% disadvantage, which really probably won't be enough time there for Hunting Season to get out into a push. So again, as soon as I'm about to make a point, or I've made a point, the other team immediately discredits what I've said. So you know what? I clearly know nothing about TF2.
Yeah, we do actually have the solo Uber coming out onto Smay here. They'll get Exquisite and try and chase something forward, but they're just getting wrapped here. They've put themselves in a really awkward position, leaving Shaky alone with a Bird. Looks like she will clean up that kill as Remorse will stay alive from the opposing Pirate. Ella goes down to Mist, and that's 6 players down for IDS. A 7th falling in time with the gun and the sentry now just alive. Those 2 spawns are up, but I don't know. CK on the cart here. Meth
even
with the jump.
Smay got to the ramp and then turned around to look at someone else who was not the person capping the cart and therefore winning the
That is hunting season guaranteeing their spot in the grand final of Respawn League Season 4 against Red Panda. As with that, we'll go into Foz, if you've got any shoutouts.
Look, just again to both teams for providing some really entertaining TF2 to watch. It might have been a 2-0 win overall, but it was still incredibly fun to cast. Core on production, always doing a fantastic job, and also for inviting me back to do some Highlander casts. It is always a pleasure to get back behind the mic after all this time, and it's really enjoyable. And finally to you for being such a fantastic co-caster and really, frankly, doing the heavy lifting tonight.
Nah, it's all good. Like, I mirror the same sentiments as you. Look, it's always nice to have someone else out casting Highlander with me. Many nights I'm out here thinking, man, will it be another solo cast? But no, not anymore, as we do have some more people getting behind the mic. Shout out to Core as well on the production, really wrapping this together every time it does happen. Our Lord and Savior. And also, shout out to Nexus in particular. Taking up the Any Key pledge. You guys all should as well. Just search Any Key pledge. And let's look at really getting rid of toxicity in this community. Things can be tough in TF2. We're a small community, and we can really look at getting rid of toxicity in a big way. So check that out, as that'll be us for tonight. Keep an eye out for the Lockdown Throwdown later tonight on the Crits Cast channel, and enjoy the rest of your evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, old beaver! Away!